Of Funny Money Show. I'm your host, Charlie Brown. And I think that the Island Boys are not doing so well anymore. Anyways, this show is not really about the Island Boys. It's not. Today, the show is going to be about Bitcoin. It's going to be about Bitcoin. It's going to be about. I got my microphone working now, guys. So it's going to be about Bitcoin, crypto, and why I believe crypto is going to keep going up. Because if you guys seen today, today is Christmas Eve, but crypto has been going up. It's been going sky high. I think Bitcoin went over 51,000 today, so we're doing pretty good with that front. But here's the thing. So people are going to keep piling all their money into Bitcoin, cryptos, and all that. There's a lot of people dollar cost averaging. And, if you don't know what DCA is, dollar cost average, it's basically, people put in, a little bit per month. You put $100 a month, and then, at the end of the year, you're getting compound interest on all the money you put in. And it's just a good way to buy in, for those who don't know, as far as like to average out your buys. So like say it goes low, say it goes high, doesn't matter because you've been averaging in. So you have an average cost. And usually I think DCA, Graham Stephan put a video out about this, that DCA actually is the best way to go because eventually it just wins out overall. Like you can't time the market, you can't do all that. But anyways, people are DCAing, right? People are dollar cost averaging. Okay, so they're dollar cost averaging into these accounts, these funds, whether it's S&P 500, whether it's crypto funds, whatever, what have you. And the deal is that that's putting a lot of money into that system just by default. So let's say you have like a fish bowl, right? And everybody's pouring money in. Now you have these traders that keep pouring a little bit of money, a little cup out of water, a little cup in of water, a little cup out of water, a little cup in of water. But the whole time that the traders are doing this, right, they're moving money out, in and out. The people that are dollar cost averaging keep putting a little bit of money in, just like an S&P 500 or one of those retirement funds, So the overall water level keeps on rising. And yeah, that the traders keep, pushing money in, pushing money out, and the people that are like, paper handers, they're going in and out a little at a time. But the tide eventually keeps on rising. It's the same thing with anything. If you look at real estate prices across the board, I mean, bar being in like Detroit or some crazy place like that, which I think people are still actually making money in Detroit. You can still, but the prices of everything have gone up, right? Real estate's gone up. The tide for prices on S&P 500 have gone up. All kinds of mutual funds. Now, that's not to say if you pick a bad investment, i.e. the GameStop stocks and all that, or whatever, or you pick Walgreens stock, or I don't know, whatever has gone down. If you do like one of those picks, yeah, obviously, but Bitcoin in general, Ethereum in general, the top couple cryptos in general, Binance Coin has done really well. S&P, all your retirement basic mutual funds have been doing good. Real estate has done good across the board. And, somebody told me a long time ago, one of my mentors, he's actually kind of like an uncle to me, but he's really more of like a family friend. He's been my dad's best friend since we were a little kid, since they were little kids. And, I've known him since I was a little kid. So, but he's one of the, wealthiest people that we come in contact with, and I consider him a mentor. When I went to go buy my first house, he just said, just buy a house. And I'm like, yeah, but what if the market goes down? What if this happens? What if that happens? He's like, just buy a house. He's like, it doesn't matter. Eventually, it always goes up. And I've actually used that philosophy, and it goes against the grain because everybody's always like, oh, let's find a deal. Let's wait till the market tanks. Let's wait till this happens, that happens. And the crazy thing about it is when I first bought my first house, it did go down $15,000 the next year. So I paid $131 for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, 1,800 square feet, had a nice little back deck on it. I like the house actually, it has like high ceilings and stuff. I paid $131 for that in Georgia. And it's gone up about 50, 60K since I bought it. And that's with the highs and lows, but it's not in a really good market. It's just like where I was stationed at. And I've made money on rental income on that. So it wasn't really the best deal in the world. Like I said, there's a lot of people that make a lot more money than I do. But the whole point of the story is that, yeah, it did go down the very next year, but it's gone up in value since I've had it. And that's the whole thing. And the thing with a Bitcoin is, right, everybody's like trying to wait for the crash. There's like, or stocks. Oh, I want to wait for the crash. I want to wait for this. I want to wait for that. I was waiting for the crash in 2017 on Amazon stock. And I want to say it was at like 2016, 2017 was at $300 a share. And I was like, all right, I'm going to wait till it crashes and then I'm going to buy in, right? I had like probably 20 grand to invest at the time that I was going to buy in. And the crazy thing about it is it went up to 750. So then I'm like, oh, let me wait for another crash. Let me wait for a crash. Then it goes to 1300. Then I'm like, oh, let me wait for a crash. Let me wait for a crash. Then it goes to 2300. And I'm just like, okay, what the heck, man? You know, like, had I just put that 20 grand in, let's say a mix of stocks, I would have, like, say I would have bought Tesla, I would have bought Amazon, Apple. I mean, that 20 grand probably would have been $100,000. And then and that little time span of like 3 or 4 years, it would have been 5, 6x at least. So the moral of the story is nobody knows what's going to happen. No one can predict anything, right? If the market's going to crash, if there's going to be stagflation, inflation, deflation, nobody freaking knows for sure. That's the one tenet that I really like. And I know I bring his name up a lot. I like from Warren Buffett. I like that tenet. The tenet is you don't know what's going to happen. We're not trying to be market predictors. Now he has a lot more patience than most people, as far as like he goes and he waits till he has an absolute deal. But I mean, the thing about it is with human emotion, it's so hard to take your emotions out of it because it's money, and money is one of the most necessary things we need in life and have in life. And it's a big component. It's the number one resource that we really need, So people get really emotional, and me included. And even I'm sure Warren Buffett's got emotional, but these great investors, the thing that separates them is that they take the emotion out of it. They found, and they've systematized how they've done that. They don't just, because saying and doing a thing is, it's two different things, but they've systematized how they do it. It's just kind of like, so like if you have to dollar cost average to, to make sure that you don't have to, be emotional about your investments, investments going up or down, then go ahead and do that. Or don't look at it or whatever. And that's just how you do it. Just like it's like if you have a retirement account. So I have like this retirement account. I started with the Air Force. It's called TSP. You can look it up. It's basically what most government employees have, or federal employees and military, people. But it's a TSP, and it's basically like I have it in like what's called the S fund and the C fund, which is like one's like the tech. It's the Russell 2000, and then the other one's like an S&P 500. So. And I just dollar cost average in that. And honestly, like if it goes down 10%, 20%, 30%, I don't really care. If it goes down 50%, I don't really care. If it goes up, now I'm really happy, but I know I'm not going to use that money till the time, I retire, like way down the line. So it just doesn't matter to me. My dogs just ran into the freaking camera. But anyways, that's pretty much the message. The investments are going to keep going up. Your salary is not going to keep up with inflation. Your salary is not going to keep up with investments. My salary is not going to keep up with investments. So the only thing we can really do is DCA and buy more stuff. Bitcoin's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great store hole of value. And I didn't put all my eggs in that basket, but I put a considerable amount. I mean, like I have 1 Bitcoin, and I can truly see that Bitcoin going to 100K, in the next 6 months to a year. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys posted, but I just thought I should let you know how the market's doing and kind of give you my insight on those things. But I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas Eve, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.